Hey, example 2 for Math 7 Notes 10-2. So again, here we just have a little bit more complicated of an example. Still going to follow those steps and start with any distribution that I have going on. And I have to distribute that negative 8 to the 1 to get a negative 8. And negative 8 times 4p is a negative 32p. Carrying down the plus 7p and the other half of my equation. Drawing my line down the center like all of you are forgetting or thinking I'm forgetting because I'm really good at forgetting that. Okay, now no like terms to combine over here. When you think you might want to combine those, because those are like terms, the plus 7p and the minus 8p are like terms, we can't combine those because they're on the opposite sides of the equal sign. We'll have to deal with inverse operations to move those over. But I do have like terms on this side of my equal sign. See how they're both on the same, so I can add those together. So negative 32 plus 7p is going to give me a negative 25p is equal to negative 25 minus 8p. And don't forget to carry down that negative 8. All right, up next, we are to the portion where we are, again, our goal of equation solving is to isolate the variable. We can't possibly isolate a variable if it's in two different places, on two different sides of the equal sign. So we're going to use inverse operations to move one of those over. To avoid that negativity, as Mrs. G would say, I don't know why my voice was like, we're going to move the smaller one over by adding that 25p to both sides. Adding the 25p because we are getting rid of the negative. We're trying to cancel out with the negative 25p or the minus 25p, and the inverse of minus is addition. Now, I just want to pause for a second and let you guys know that this is not the only way to solve an equation. There are tons of different ways you can solve equations, and it would not be incorrect to add 8p to both sides. That would not be wrong. It would just be different, and you'd end up with a negative on this side for a little bit. No big deal. But we're going to continue on with this way. So those cancel out to 0, which is what we wanted. Negative 25. And so now we have negative 8 plus 25 is going to give us a positive 17. This is the second time I'm making this video because I actually messed up the first time and made that a negative 17. Ugh. All right, so now we're trying to get the x term or the variable term to be by itself. That 17p is being prevented from being alone by the negative 25. So I'm going to add 25 to both sides. That was a little too close. Shoop. Okay, 25 minus 8, or negative 8 plus 25, gives me 17 over here. My negative and positive 25 cancel out, and my 17p gets carried down. 17 is being multiplied by p, so we're going to do the inverse of that and divide to get 1. P is equal to 1. 17 divides 17. Jumping right into our check, reminding ourselves that when we're doing this check, we're doing gems, and we're working from the inside out. First thing you're starting with is rewriting that original equation exactly as it is. And now this one's going to be different from some of the others that we've done so far because it has p's in 3 places. Okay, you can go ahead and erase and replace those p's, replacing them first with empty parentheses. I know it seems redundant, but it's going to make a lot of difference at some point. And then filling in those ones to those empty parentheses everywhere there was a p, because that is what we got for our answer. All right, gems, order of operations, groupings, working from inside out. Inside of this grouping here, I have both addition and multiplication, so I'm going to start with the multiplication. 4 times 1 is 4, and I'm just going to carry everything else down. I can do this little bit of multiplication over here too. 7 times 1 is 7. And I can do this multiplication over here as well because I don't have any other groupings on this side, so I won't mess up my order. All right, so still have groupings over here to work with. So I'm going to get that next. 1 plus 4 is 5. You are going to need to show some in-between steps in order to get full credit when you're doing this. This turns into a negative 33. And continuing on, negative 8 times 5 is negative 40. Negative 40 plus 7 is indeed a negative 33, which gives us a true statement, which means our answer is correct.